game has changed so much from 30 years ago when I first got in the game to how it is now. It's completely different.
Yeah. You need a YouTube channel and a Spotify account. Like, legitimately, you need to get online and talk to other artists. And
let me cut you off for a minute. You said Spotify. I got to tell you, there's a new competitor in town, Coda Music. That's what you need to get with. Coda Music. Check it out.
Coda Music. Okay.
I don't even use Spotify. I just said it as a reference. I use Apple Music because I got the stupid Apple phone. It's just
I got
easy.
you. Well, Coda Music is going to be the new thing. Trust me when I tell you that. You guys are going to see that, and it's going to be amazing. But go ahead, G.
So, G, I
see, and you know, just like most of y'all, I'm sure y'all already know this, but like basically what happened to the game, meaning the music game, and what's happening all around us is a technological change. Everything is going from an analog template to a digital one. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what's happening and what has happened. So a lot of hardware has become and is becoming software. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I first got in the game, think about this. This will help everybody to really contextualize this shit. When I got in the game, people had cassettes in their cars.
I'm 57, man. I know. Trust me. Yeah. My dad had an 8-track player in his car growing up in our Buick.
Yeah, I know about that.
Okay. Yeah. Our Buick Electra. We had an 8-track player, man. So, yeah. I was born in 1968. Right. So I get it.
Lord G, do you think it's changing for the better, or do you think it's not changing for the better? As far as the analog to...
Well, you know, I think that just like with most things, it's like a yin yang. So it's got some pros and it's got some cons. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I
it's got some positives to it and negatives.
I think it makes the cost of entry a little too low sometimes. Like they think it's easy. Okay. When you had to do it analog, it wasn't easy, dude. You had to, like, now they can go to the computer and tell ChatGPT, give me a riff for a beat, and ChatGPT will do it. Like, they'll throw some lyrics and they'll spit back some beats for it. It's like, what? That cost of entry is not as high.
That's true. That's very true. That to me, of course, that is definitely a con. That's not a pro. That's a negative element in the puzzle to me, because it makes people that are not, quote, let's say, that don't have creative authenticity, think that they're creating like the original form of it, what the Isley Brothers, what Marvin Gaye did, what Norman Whitfield did, what all these great brothers did, where you really creating that shit out of your brain.
Yeah, absolutely. What's Vinnie looking at?
I'm sorry. No, my battery's too low, and I put my charger in. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, like,
now you compare that format that I'm talking about, where these artists were actually thinking of everything on their own, using their imagination and their creative energies to come up with shit that was original composition, which a lot of these artists today sample the same shit that these people made. You understand? It's a different game. It's not the same. So what we try to do too is educate the young brothers where these beats are coming from. That a lot of these young people, when they hear something, they'll say, "Oh, that's Dr. Dre," or "That's such and such," not knowing, "No, that's Isaac Hayes," or "That's," you understand?
Yeah. That's Elvis Presley. Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, the guy was a legend as well. Yeah, my dad was born in Arkansas, but his dad was a restless type. So every summer and spring they were in Arkansas picking cotton, but in the winter they were in Detroit when his dad was working at the factory, the auto factory. Every year for 18 years, my dad went back and forth between the two states. So my dad handpicked cotton until he was 18 years old and walked off the cotton field the day he turned 18. But he was born the same year as Vinnie's dad, 1942. Yeah.
How come I can't hear anybody?
I don't know. Is your mic muted?
Just talking.
You're doing an interview.
Yeah, we hear you.
We hear you, Vinnie. Yeah. So my dad told me, he goes, man, when I was 15 years old, I picked 500 pounds of cotton a day by hand. I was like, what? Wow. I said, that's a lot of cotton. He goes, yeah, there's a lot of cotton, man, because we had to eat, and they lived in the cotton farmers had these sheds in the middle of the fields, and that's where they lived. They lived in these sheds with no floors and shit, and there was 4 of them living in these sheds. 2 brothers and mom and dad. So
see there.
That's why he went to the Navy. He joined the Navy. He joined the Navy, but he raised me with Motown. He also raised me with Elvis, and he also raised me with classic country. So I got it all, dude. Like my dad had the reel-to-reel players. We would sit there for hours picking out albums that we would pick a song to go on the reel-to-reel, because he would have parties at the house, and he'd just have a 8-hour reel-to-reel go on for the whole party, because we were recording it for a month before the party started. But I was pulling out the Supremes, I was pulling out Isaac Hayes, I was pulling out all these albums for these party reel-to-reels. He loved his music, dude. He loved music. And he was in a band too growing up. He used to sing when Johnny Cash was singing in Arkansas, and then Battle of Bands, my dad beat their dad. But my dad, my dad joined the Navy, and the fucking band lost their mind. They're like, dude, we're really good. He goes, I'm not living in Arkansas, man. I've been here too long, and it sucks. So he hit the road. Yeah. So he got to compete against Johnny Cash and all that shit.
Wow.
Yep. He was pretty good. He was a singer. He didn't play no instruments. He just sang.
And a lot of those experiences, like the ones you spoke on, like picking cotton and living in these subpar conditions, I think that has something to do with the creative spirit.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what makes that dope ass music.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Legitimately, Lord G. My 2 intro songs on my show are AI. Like they just, they're AI songs that you can make. You can make them for nothing on an AI generator, right? So, they're AI. And if you don't know what AI is, you don't know it's AI. Do you know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, okay, there's a beat there. There's a guy singing. Like, okay. That's what's scary about the AI bullshit, man. It doesn't take much to fool people. Yeah. Like half the YouTube channels I know are fucking AI. They are just AI content that people tell ChatGPT to write the script. They get a voice to read it, and they throw some image on the screen, and you listen to it for 45 minutes.
That's just cheating.
Yeah. See, to me, that's basically like counterfeit. That's counterfeit money.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? You know what happens? YouTube still pays it because they run ads on those pages. Angela in the chat says, my dad raised me on the Drifters, Sam Cooke, Nat King Cole, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Motown, doo-wop, and that's Angela. Welcome to my house. That was like my dad loved him some Sam Cooke. He loved 50s rockabilly with Chuck Berry, Little Richard. He loved all that shit too. I mean, but he was born in 42, so he grew up in the 50s with that, and then he rolled right into Motown. He hated the Beatles. He loved the Stones because that was your choices back then. You liked one or liked the other, and he picked the Stones, and thank God he did. So Lord G,
people either like the Stones or the Beatles. There's not like you can't like both.
So Lord G, the lead singer from the band was working with you when your cousin went out to LA, right? He started working with you, the lead singer from the band that he was part of. So he taught you kind of how to work in a studio, how to make beats and all that good stuff. Now, the first time you brought a song to somebody, was it to him? Like, did you bring your lyrics to him for the first time? Or did you do that when you got to LA?
Well, you know, when we were working together, he was familiar with a lot of stuff that I was doing because I was working with some other brothers at the same time, and I would play what I was doing for him. And he was what should we say? Jeff is he's a visionary. So what he started to do was he could see there was some potential there. And so he started tapping into it and giving it a creative space to develop and mature. You know what I'm saying? And breathe. Sure. And one day he even came to me and he said, yo, I can hear you might have some singing ability. And he started working with me with singing. So he was the first person to notice that vibration in my frequency. Like, you might be able to sing on certain levels. Not no Luther Vandross type shit, but you know, some grimy, gritty shit that could still work.
You can entertain somebody and not annoy them with your voice. Like, that's a thing, right?
Right. Or like some stylish shit. You know, you could like be a stylist.
Like that other guy from Michigan, Kid Rock. That fucker can't sing, but he's an entertainer, right?
That part.
Right. Vinny, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can. I don't know what happened to when my phone rung. I didn't answer it. I couldn't hear anything anymore.
Yeah, Apple's weird or whatever device you're using, they're weird that way. They cut your mic off, and then you got to go back into settings. So it's either just to relog in.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yes. Yeah.
So
now you know, Vince. I was just telling the brothers. They were asking me about my relationship with Jeff Stanton, and I was explaining to them how he helped. Oh, you heard it? Okay.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Wait a minute,
you gotta know the difference about.
Bring it
on. Y'all hear Brenda in the background?
Yeah.
Brenda said, y'all got to know about George Clinton.
Oh, you guys work for George?
Yeah,
Clinton?
Brenda got some shit to say, man.
Yeah, that's my sister-in-law, man. I love her to death, man. She's always in my conversations with me because I'm always sitting there running my mouth.
Okay, so Vinny, when you you pack the bags and go to LA, who influenced you to go to LA at that time?
Well, my mother's family, me and my mom have been moving back and forth to LA ever since I was 6 years old. We were back and forth to Los Angeles. Like, my grandmother lived in Los Angeles, in Pasadena.
Okay.
And, and the rest of her sisters. So we were back and forth a lot. And when I decided to become of age, my whole goal was to get back to Los Angeles into California because I wanted to live in that area. And I got my break to go there after I left Detroit.